Welcome to the Baker's Wager podcast. Today, I'll be talking about my favorite bets for UFC 273 this Saturday. Let's jump straight into the main event. Alright, so for the main event, featherweight title fight, Alexander Volkanovski, the champion, versus Korean Zombie. Volkanovski is a massive favorite in this fight, minus 800. Korean Zombie, big underdog, plus 500. If you want to bet this fight, if you like Zombie, just bet the plus 500. But if you like Volkanovski, which I do, just pick a method of victory. I got him winning by decision at minus 150. I don't really think he's going to get a knockout. Korean Zombie's got a great chin, great jiu-jitsu. It's going to be very, 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 very tough to finish. I think he's only been finished twice in his UFC career. One of them, Yair Rodriguez, a few years ago, hit him with an elbow last few seconds of the fight, so that one almost went to decision. But I doubt Volkanovski will get a finish. He didn't finish Brian Ortega or Max Holloway in the last 3 title fights. So I like Volkanovski, minus 150 by decision. So let's get into the co-main event. Co-main event is for the bantamweight title. Aljamain Sterling, the current champion, versus Peter Young, the interim champ. Peter Young was the champion. Aljamain Sterling fought him, lost, or Peter Young lost. Aljamain Sterling won because of disqualification, but Peter Young was winning that fight pretty handedly. When I re-watched that fight, Aljo was a little bit more competitive than I remembered. So Peter Young's he's a slow starter. You know, Aljo, high paced, got a lot of different types of head kicks, a lot of just weird attacks that he can catch you with them. He caught Peter Young a few times with a head kick in the first 2 rounds, but then as soon as that 3rd round started, Peter Young just started pouring it on Aljo, and the fight was almost over, and then he throws that knee, and then got disqualified. But in this fight, it's tough to make a bet on. I guess Peter Young's minus 500, and Aljamain Sterling's a plus 365, and it's just really hard to bet against Peter Young. I don't mind sprinkling a little bit on Aljamain Sterling, because that's really good odds. Maybe even Aljamain Sterling by submission. I think the last time I saw it was like plus 650 or something like that, and that's really good odds. Maybe not put like a full unit on it, but like a quarter, half unit or something like that. Peter Young, ton of power, great boxing, but again, slow starter. Aljo comes out hot right out the gate. Maybe you can get a finish early in the fight. Then it could be knockout, submission. He's a really good jiu-jitsu practitioner, and Peter Young's a great wrestler, but doesn't really do much with the submission. So maybe if it goes down to the ground, Peter Young was attempting a lot of takedowns in their first fight, a lot of them. So maybe Aljo can grab a hold of an arm and neck, So my bet for this fight is under 4.5 rounds at even odds, which is really good value. Peter Young can easily knock out Aljamain Sterling. Aljo, multiple ways to win this fight. Knockout, submission. I'll take the under there. Alright, on to the next fight. Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat CHIMAEV. This is by far my favorite fight on the card. Probably going to be fight of the year. Khamzat, big favorite, minus 575 last time I checked. And Gilbert Burns is a plus 390. I think the odds are moving towards Khamzat CHIMAEV. So, yeah, but Khamzat hasn't fought anyone at the caliber of Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns came close to finishing Kamaru Usman in the first round just last year when they fought in title fight. Khamzat has, like I said, he hasn't really fought anyone of Gilbert Burns' caliber, but he's just ran through everyone he's fought. In the UFC, he's had 4 fights and has only been punched twice. Khamzat CHIMAEV, in his last fight, he won by knockout, which is 1 punch. It was like 13 seconds. So he's got crazy power, crazy accuracy, crazy wrestling. He's just a freak athlete. I don't really know who's going to beat him in his division other than Kamaru Usman. That's probably the only guy that has a chance. And I like Gilbert Burns a lot too, but it's just a really tough fight for him. But this will be a good test for KHAMZAT because he said he's been punched twice in his 4 UFC fights. He's had 10 MMA fights, 100% finish rate, 6 knockouts, 4 submissions. Gilbert Burns, amazing jiu-jitsu. He's won a lot of jiu-jitsu championships. I don't think that the path for victory for KHAMZAT is a submission, and you can't bet on him at minus 575. There's no value there. So what I did is I bet on him by knockout, plus 140, which I was surprised that was plus money because I think that's the most likely scenario to happen in this fight is him winning by knockout. I also don't mind him winning by decision, but that was like a minus 150 last time I checked. And I know that I took this bet on Sunday early in the week, so when I checked it on a Tuesday, it was already at even odds for him to win by knockout. So I'm assuming by the time the fight starts, that's going to be a minus money bet, but it'll still have good value. So if you like KHAMZAT, I really like that bet. The next fight I took is Mackenzie Dern versus TECIA Torres. I have Mackenzie Dern winning the fight minus 120. I think this is just a striker versus grappler matchup. I usually like taking the grapplers in these type of fights, especially in this one, because I think Mackenzie Dern's ground game is just so good. She's had over 100 pro jiu-jitsu matches and multiple jiu-jitsu championships. TECIA Torres, a great striker, way better than Mackenzie Dern, but Mackenzie Dern has gotten a lot better with her striking. Her last few fights, she's actually been able to put together some combinations. She's been looking kind of good, quicker on the feet. She's looked a lot better. Her takedowns have gotten a lot better. TECIA Torres, in her last fight, she fought Angela Hill. It's a Muay Thai fighter, not really a grappler. Angela Hill took her down, I think, 3 times in that fight, maybe 4. And Angela Hill's not, like I said, she's not a wrestler, she's not a grappler. And Mackenzie Dern got a lot better on her wrestling and her takedowns. So it just she can't stop an Angela Hill takedown. She won't stop a Mackenzie Dern takedown. So and if this fight gets to the ground, Mackenzie Dern's winning the fight. I doubt she'll get back up. I doubt the round will end. It's just going to be a quick submission, I'm pretty sure. So I really like Mackenzie Dern at minus 120. I think she could be a future champion. TECIA Torres has lost to pretty much every woman that has been a champion in that weight class. And then a couple other fighters she lost to too that were never champions. But I just think Mackenzie Dern's going to win this fight. I wouldn't mind betting her to win by submission. I think that's a plus 210 last time I checked. But minus 120 is a lot safer. She could just take her down and control her and grind out of this decision. So for the next fight that I took is Vince Pichel versus Mark Madsen. Mark Madsen's a plus 115 underdog, which is my bet. And then Vince Pichel's a minus 140 favorite. Mark Madsen, 11-0 in his MMA career, 3-0 in UFC. His last fight was against Clay Guida. I think a lot of people were kind of scared away from Mark Madsen after that fight. But Clay Guida's been beating a lot of guys recently. So that win, it was a close fight, wasn't that impressive, but I think it looks a lot better now than it did when it happened. Vince Pichel, they recently beat the same guy, Austin Hubbard, and Vince Pichel kind of had like a war with him. It was a close fight. Mark Madsen just ran him over. I just kept taking him down, outstruck him. So I think, Vince Pichel, he's a great fighter. Doesn't have many weaknesses. He's got good wrestling, good striking. Definitely a better striker than Mark Madsen, but it's not that big of an advantage. But Mark Madsen is a Greco-Roman wrestler, Olympic silver medalist in 2016. And it doesn't feel like he should be an underdog in this fight. I think of all the fights I looked at, that was the only fight that I felt that the underdog shouldn't have been the underdog. So again, my bet is Mark Madsen to win at plus 115. Also, don't mind betting him to win by knockout or submission. Alright, so to recap all my bets, I have 5 of them. Volkanovski by decision at minus 150. The under 4.5 rounds at even odds. The Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling fight. KHAMZAT CHIMAEV by knockout at plus 140. MACKENZIE DERN to win at minus 120. And Mark Madsen to win at plus 115. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the episode. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All those links are in the description. Also, follow me on the Action Network. You can see all my bets across all sports. Make sure you join my DRAFTKINGS League to play in paid contests. Me and others, we play UFC, NASCAR, baseball, football when football comes back. So, all those links will be down in the description. Thank you for watching.